Welcome back to my channel, Miss Pretty Plants. Today I am tackling a section of my garden that I have been kind of putting off the whole summer because I really didn't know what to do with it. This is a sloped area here behind my shed that goes down. I mean, it has a slope that goes a bit downhill, and I have all this area that connects to my garden bed and all this space in the back here which slopes down, and also all this behind the shed. There is grass right now, but I kind of want to get rid of this grass so that I don't have to mow back here, and I can also make it a visually a little bit more appealing, and maybe organize some of these plants better in here. So I actually moved this brandy wine viburnum back here because it wasn't doing well where it was, and it was really on its way to dying. So as soon as I planted it here, it has come back to life, and it has a decent amount of leaves, and I also see that it is producing new shoots of leaves. So I think this one is really happy here, and I'm going to leave it here and work around this one. I actually had two of these, and one of them is completely gone, I think. I am not too sure if there is life in this branch, but I am going to do a scratch test to see, but I think this one may be dead because I don't see any green in it. So I probably will remove this one, and I have some raspberry bushes that I also planted earlier in the summer, which I feel are too far back, and I want to kind of include them on this incline here so that they can spread out. I know raspberry bushes like to spread out, so I was thinking that maybe this can start to become a little bit of a raspberry patch back here, and might be a good use of the slope. And then I will see if I want to plant a couple of shrubs to add a bit more privacy along this fence. And the plan is to kind of make this into a bed here so that next year I can also grow some vegetables here if I want, or I might do some small perennials just to kind of add a little bit of floral or prettiness to this part of the garden, because it just feels like it is an ugly spot where and it's kind of becoming a dumping ground. I also put in a lot of sod that I remove in the back here, so this is kind of naturally becoming more of a compost pile for me. So I might keep this spot as that, and I will keep on dumping anything that's garden waste over here so that it can become a rich compost over the years. So that's the plan. I'm going to revamp this a little bit today, and I'm going to start working on it today and see how this goes and how far I can get with this. So I did a lot of thinking around what I could do on this side. So what I've landed on is that I'm going to create a little pathway going down this way so that I can access behind these raised beds. And then what I'm going to do is whatever else is left there, I'm going to kind of create that into a little garden area eventually. So for now, what I'm going to do is create this pathway. I'm going to dig out this grass a little bit, and then put in some waste paper bags, these brown paper bags, lay those down, and then I'm going to put some mulch on it, some soil and mulch on it, just to kind of create this pathway for future. I'm not really worried about weeds too much in this path. I'm not going to lay down any fabric. I'm okay if eventually I might just plant some creeping thyme or something green that can grow in this pathway. I'm not going to be too particular about maintaining and weeding this to that degree. Like it's kind of in the back, and I just want something nice to just want it to look a little bit nicer and maybe tie in with this other pathway that I have. And I'm not really gonna also use stones in there. Just gonna use simple mulch and do it for now, and then we'll see next year how this turns out to be, and then I can always change it, evolve it. So here we go. I'm gonna do a little bit more work on it, and I will show you my progress. This is what I've done so far. I've laid down this Costco yard waste bags down there. I've removed some longer pieces of grass, but more or less the grass is still beneath these bags. And what I'm doing is covering this with soil. I've also edged it with this all leftover bricks that I had lying around. Like I said, this is not going to be a perfect looking thing. It's just something I'm trying to create with whatever I have left over in the yard. I'm just reusing, recycling whatever I have. I've had these stones lying around in my garden for a while, so I'm going to just use them. I've also have these thicker rectangular stones that I am kind of adding as a stepping stone in this path. The only thing I am worried about is that this is an incline right about here, so it kind of slowly takes a downward turn here. So I'll see what I do with this part. I might fill it a little bit more with mulch around here just so that it's a little bit raised, and then fill this part with soil so that these stones can really like set in. So I'm just reusing the soil that I have from digging and lying around. So I'm just going to fill this up, and I'm going to start adding mulch to this area and see what this looks like. I think for this winter, this much prep will be okay, and everything will settle with the snow and the cold weather. And then next spring, I will maybe plant some creeping thyme or some kind of low growing ground cover here, so that it also adds a bit of green in this path. So that's the plan. Let's see how this evolves. I'll keep working on it for now. This is what I have accomplished so far. So I've kind of laid down all the bricks and also put down a bunch of soil on it. So what I did was I reused a lot of my soil that I had in pots that are kind of done flowering and just sitting around. I had a bunch of tomato plants that were in containers that I emptied over here, and I tried to create a little bit of a height here so that it's not so much of a slope here. We'll see how it works out, and next spring I will add some more mulch to this to see if I want to raise it more. But I'm happy with how this looks for now, and I have a bunch of tree bark mulch that I'm going to lay on top of it. This is also from a recycled tree. It's kind of a free mulch that I'm going to put over this area and show you what it looks like once the mulch is put down. Here it is. I'm done putting the mulch, and I kind of watered everything down. So I think I really like how this turned out. Really out of everything I had at home and just a few steps, I was able to create like this little path going down this flower bed. I think it looks really nice. It ties in with this other side of my garden, and although it's not stone, I like that I was able to quickly, instead of gravel, put in some mulch and also added some soil and kind of raised it a bit. Over winter, as the snow falls on it and leaves fall on it, it's going to kind of press down more, so I'm not worried about it. I left it a little bit higher than I normally would for a path, but I think this turned out really well. So now I'm left with this section here that it's kind of open and free, and I don't think I'm going to put any kind of border around this because I just want it to be like an open area. So I'm going to start like as and when I find plants, I'm going to just start planting them here. And I have a couple of free shrubs that are coming, some some native 9-bark shrubs that are coming, so I might plant them closer to that fence and then start working my way in either this year if I find some good deals, or continue with this area next year. I do want to add like nice vibrant flowers along this pathway over here, just so that, you know, it balances the other side. So I will do that, but for now I think I'm happy with how this turned out. I will move these raspberry bushes probably more on the other side. I'm not really sure, but they're kind of settled in this spot here, so I'm a little bit unsure if I want to move them. They are in their first year, and they're already giving me raspberries. So I see some raspberries here. So these are, I think, ever-bearing raspberries, so they should next year start producing for me. Really excited to have these in my garden as well. So this area here has kind of become like a catch-all area, but I'm loving how this is turning out. I actually moved this large shrub here earlier this summer. This is also a native 9-bark. It is quite pretty, has really pretty whitish pink flowers in the spring, and then it has a nice arching presence in my garden. So I'm excited to get a couple more of these shrubs and continue it along that other side near the fence. And I'm also very happy with how this viburnum this is a brandywine viburnum, how this is surviving here finally, and it's looking happy. So I'm hopeful that this plant will be doing well next year in this spot. So yeah, there it is. I am quite happy with this little garden project that I took on today. It's turned out pretty well, and as you can see, I just did not need any help. I just did the whole thing myself with whatever materials I had lying around, and it's by no means a perfect path. That's what I like about garden. I don't like it to be rigid and perfect. I like the bricks to be different. I like this, you know, it to be a little bit handmade, and I think that's what the vibe and the feel I have for my garden, and I hope to continue that through my garden, and really excited to see how this path turned out. And overall it was a successful path, and I'm happy that it kind of looks a little bit complete, and now I can start working with whatever is left to do some planting and arranging. And I know there is a lot of grass in this area, but I think I will slowly pull this out as I plant new things, and next year we'll work on you know, completely getting rid of it. So not too worried, it's in the back and not visible to anyone but me, and I really want to beautify this as well as I do the other sections of my garden. So thanks so much for watching this video. If you liked this video, please don't forget to hit the like button so I know that you are liking what the content that I am creating. And really, if it helps you to kind of create something like this in your garden, I would love to hear from you. And what kind of gardener are you? Do you like everything to be hardscape perfectly, or do you like these little imperfect creations in your garden with whatever recycled material that you can find? Let me know what your thoughts are. I am more of the former, where I just, you know, the latter, that just loves using whatever I can find, logs, bricks, stones, anything interesting like that in the garden. Just really makes me you know, view my garden in a very different way, and I think it really adds or lends to the cottage kind of feel that I want to create in this garden. So I think I hope you like this video. Thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for more updates on what I do on the other side. Thank you.